Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of History Revealed. And the topic of today's episode has definitely spiked some morbid curiosity, let's say, throughout history. And we're definitely going to talk about a morbid subject of mourning the death of your loved ones during the Victorian era, and that's key. So the Victorian era in America lasted from about 1820 roughly to 1914, and most of that was actually during the reign of Queen Victoria in England. So a lot of these customs originated in England that I will tell you about. And the one common denominator of the story today is going to be about hair, actually. So death and hair. There were so many epidemics, there were wars, of course there was not the advanced medical technology and hygiene that we all practice and use today. So unfortunately, during the Victorian era in America, there were many, many people who passed away. Mourning really took up a great deal of time for women in the domestic sphere, and they actually had a strict mourning regime, which, of course, the woman of the household had to arrange all necessary rituals. And these rituals actually had a defined dress code. She also couldn't overdo her display of grief. So there were actually a lot of rules in this time concerning mourning. And there was actually this process of crafting wreaths and jewelry even out of human hair. And the human hair came from their deceased loved ones. Yes. So they would display these hair wreaths, jewelry. That I've seen pictures of brooches with locks of hair in them, all kinds of things. I've seen picture frames, you name it, and they were actually being created. And it was really a way to keep your loved one with you. And hair art actually became definitely a fashion staple in the Victorian era for women. They actually passed these heirlooms on from generation to generation. During the same era, the Victorian families would sometimes even pose with a deceased loved one for a picture. I don't know if I would be able to do that. I don't know if that is done at all anymore. I would not be comfortable with it. But of course, this was just another way to memorialize the dead and keep your loved ones with you for as long as possible. In the show notes, I will put some links to examples of pictures of this artwork that you can go see, as well as read a little bit more about the Victorian era mourning customs with hair art. Thank you so much for joining me. And once again, if you like the content, give it a thumbs up or hit subscribe. Share with friends, family, students, whoever you like. So until next time, bye-bye.